Russell Brunson, Expert Secrets, the underground playbook for converting your online visitors into lifelong customers. You're an expert at something. Full stop. No matter who you are, no matter what you do, there is something you know or something you can teach. And let's take this a step further. No matter what that something you can teach is, you can use it to start a business. Information is a powerful tool. It attracts interest, attention, and money, even if you don't think so right now. This blink will reveal the expert secrets you need to start with absolutely nothing, not even the concept of a business, and make it all the way through to owning a profitable company. I know you're curious, so come on, let's dive in.
Before we dive into this captivating episode, we have a request for all of you who have been part of our amazing journey for the past 2 years. Though 90% of people who watch this channel haven't hit the subscribe button yet, our ultimate goal is to reach 75% by this year's end, and I believe we can achieve it together. If you've ever found value in any of the 200 videos we've poured our hearts into, could you kindly spare a moment to do me a quick favor? By simply clicking that magical subscribe button, you'll be making a significant impact on this channel, more than you can possibly imagine. Thank you, and enjoy this episode.
Starting a mass movement. Right now, you might be uncomfortable taking on the role of expert. The author gets it. He too often struggles with that negative inner voice. For many of you, the problem is likely that your unique abilities are so second nature that you dismiss them. The author does this too. He has a talent for looking at a business or product line and almost immediately understanding how its owner should be selling it. To him, this seems like common sense. But from other people's point of view, he has a rare talent for which they're willing to pay a lot of money. Your skill might not seem like a big deal to you either, but it is to someone, whether it's playing piano or fixing motorcycles. Once you've figured out your area of expertise, it's time to drill down a bit deeper to find your audience. Almost all expert businesses are based in one of 3 core markets: health, wealth, or relationships. First, determine which of these markets you're addressing. Then, find the submarket you're addressing with the core market. For example, within the health market, you'll find the submarkets of diet, strength training, and weight loss. Which one is yours? After identifying your submarket, you're still not done because the money isn't in the submarkets, it's in the niches, another level beyond the submarket. To find your niche, you might look at other experts in your submarket and see what they're selling. What can you offer people that's different and special? It's super important to find your niche because all the submarkets are already crowded with competitors. For example, say your core market is wealth and your submarket is real estate. There are tons of companies operating in the real estate market, but maybe not so many operating in the niche of flipping houses on eBay. Once you've chosen your niche, it's time to become a charismatic leader who can sell your product. The key here is to maintain absolute certainty about what you're offering. This can take some time, but one of the ways you can build up certainty is by publishing your messages daily through podcasts, Facebook, blogging, Snapchat, or whichever platform you prefer. The platform doesn't matter as much as your consistency in publishing. When the author set out to publish videos on Facebook Live, he posted literally every day, even when no one at all was listening. Why? Because he was publishing not for an audience, but for himself. He needed to discover his voice and to see what topics and ideas people would actually respond to. Over time, you too will become better at creating and posting the things people care about, and your audience will grow. The 6-week masterclass. So, you've chosen a niche, and you know a little bit about what you want to share. But you still don't have anything to sell. And that means you still don't really have a relationship with your audience. That relationship is not established until they pay you. So, where do you start? What you're going to do is create a masterclass. During it, you'll teach a small number of people about your new opportunity. This will become the core curriculum for the people who will be paying you soon. But first, you're going to test it with a beta group for free. To do this, first pick a 6-week window when you can deliver your class. Then, start building some of the marketing material for the class. That's right. The marketing material comes before making the actual content for the classes. The reason for this is simply that you need to teach people what they actually want to know. So, you're going to ask them just that. All it takes is creating a very simple web page that asks, what is your number one question about your topic? On the same page, offer people a free ticket to the beta group of your masterclass if they tell you their number one question. Once you have that page set up, start promoting it by telling everyone you know. Post it on Facebook, text your friends and family. Then, look at your submarkets and look for people already in them. If your niche is about flipping houses on eBay, look for forums about real estate investing, become part of those communities, and start participating in the groups. Then, wait until you've got about 100 responses to your survey. Out of those 100, you're going to identify 8 to 10 questions people are asking over and over. These questions will become the titles of the modules in your masterclass. For example, when the author ran this survey for his How to Make a Potato Gun product, a frequent question was, what type of pipe do you use? And do the PSI ratings on the pipes matter? That question got folded into Module 2, How to Pick the Right Pipes. Use the questions to create an outline for each of the modules, and then use the answers to create the content of your class. Then, all that's left is actually teaching it. You can set this part up by creating a Facebook group and using Facebook Live, which are both free. After you've completed your masterclass and have some results that prove what you can do for people, it's finally time to start selling things and making money, which is what we'll get started with in the next section. Make them believe. Once you've got the content you're going to sell, it's time to create beliefs in the minds of your followers. If people believe in what you're telling them, you can influence them in a positive way. And the best part is that you actually only need to get them to believe in one thing. The one thing, that is. The one belief that will erase all potential objections that might stop a client from purchasing your product. So, ask yourself, what's the one thing? What is the largest domino of belief that we need to knock down? Every product has one, and if you can successfully identify it, people will have to buy what you're offering. For example, for the author's company, ClickFunnels, his one thing was, if I can make people believe that funnels are the key to online business success and are only attainable through ClickFunnels, then all other objections and concerns become irrelevant, and they'll have to give me money. In other words, when someone believes they need a funnel and his company is the only way they can get one, then they have to buy ClickFunnels. After you've got your statement, you can start using it to create belief in your one thing. To do that, you'll need to figure out how to break down as many of your potential customers' false beliefs as possible. To use a weight loss example, say you think that one of your potential customers' false beliefs might be, if I try to lose weight, I'm going to be miserable. Now that you've identified that potential false belief, imagine what experience they might have had that caused them to develop it in the first place. For instance, maybe it's that they tried to lose weight last year by cutting carbs and ended up miserable. Next, it's your job to find a story from your own or someone else's life that shows how you once shared a similar belief or story, but now you have a new belief system and the old one was wrong. By following these steps, you build up a solid inventory of false beliefs and stories you can use to combat them during your webinars, which we'll discuss in more detail next. The perfect webinar. A common mistake people make is thinking that because their content is so good, people will automatically want to pay for it. Unfortunately, things don't really work that way. To get paying customers, you need to work on sales. Fortunately, the author has already done a lot of that work for you with his perfect webinar tips. Note that these don't apply just to webinars. They can also be used for video sales letters, stage presentations, email sequences, and more. The overall goal is to get people to believe in your one thing. In the beginning, you should build rapport with your audience and get them excited. There are a few especially good ways to do this. One is by giving you and your audience a common enemy. For example, during his presentation, the author might throw some shade at big corporations to align himself with his audience and distinguish his own company from the corporate enemy. In the next part of your webinar, you should identify the one thing you want your audience to believe and tell your origin story. You want to give people the same epiphany you had when you discovered the opportunity yourself. This is your first chance to knock down the big domino of belief. Next, you'll deal with breaking and rebuilding people's false belief patterns. We discussed how to do this in the previous section. In this step, you're discussing various beliefs people have that are preventing them from moving forward with your opportunity. One way to phrase that is, you're probably thinking blank, right? As in, you're probably thinking you need a lot of money to drive traffic, right? Well, actually, you only need 100 clicks a day. After this part, you're moving from the content section of the presentation to the sales section. You're presenting the stack slide, the place where you stack up everything the customer gets when they decide to buy. For example, you might list out Masterclass, $9,997 worth of value, Tools, $997 value, and so on, adding up the value of everything your customer will receive in total at the end. The goal is to show that you're giving 10 times the value of the asking price. Finally, you want to add urgency and scarcity by offering your audience a bonus upgrade that's only available right then. Offer something special to a certain number of people or for a certain amount of time, or both. This could be an upgraded account for people who sign up for a certain deadline or access to a special masterclass event. As a final note, this webinar should be something you do and redo every week. Don't make the mistake of only holding the webinar a few times and then trying to offer your customers something new every month. It's much better to direct your efforts toward driving new traffic to the same webinar every week. Just rinse and repeat. The funnel. Early in his career, Chet Holmes was selling advertising for one of Berkshire Hathaway's Laws magazines. In spite of the fact that Chet was making calls and sending out materials every single day, their magazine was the worst performer out of all those in their industry. Chet knew he needed to change something in his strategy. So, he looked at the list of the 2,000 advertisers he was working with and discovered that 167 of them were spending 90% of their advertising budgets with his competitors. Chet defined those 167 advertisers as his best buyers and switched all of his marketing focus to them instead of the other 1,800. It took 4 months for something to change, but finally, he landed his first big account. By his 6th month of using this strategy, he landed 29 of the 167 advertisers, doubling sales over the previous year. Chet's concept is called the Dream 100, and it refers to the 100 people who already have your ideal customers. You're going to use a similar strategy in your own expert business to drive traffic into your funnels. To do it, start by figuring out where your Dream 100 is congregating in the existing submarkets and niches to which your business is related. For the author, he realized that the people who were controlling his traffic tended to be list owners, bloggers, podcasters, or social media influencers. Once you've identified 100 people who already have the traffic you want, start building relationships with them. Follow them, send them friend requests, subscribe to their email list and blogs, and buy their products. Put yourself on their radar so they'll know who you are before you ever make your first real request. After you've built up relationships with your Dream 100, it's time to start leveraging them to gain access to their followers. The easiest and best way to work with your Dream 100 is to get them to promote you to their followings. The author sends everyone on his Dream 100 a physical newsletter and package in the mail every month with information about his company's special promotions and how they can be a part of them. Not everyone in your Dream 100 is going to promote your products, of course, and you may not even be able to get many of them on the phone. But keep marketing, because even a single yes can potentially put you in front of a huge audience, netting you massive profits. There are many other ways to drive traffic and fill your funnels, but all of them should be built on the foundation of your Dream 100. By mastering this strategy, you'll constantly be able to fill your funnels with new people. The main takeaway of this link to Expert Secrets by Russell Brunson is that whoever you are, you have the ability to start an expert business using knowledge you already possess. In the beginning, you'll need to create a niche that you can use to attract passionate customers and build a mass following. By creating content that delivers the knowledge people are looking for, you'll build up a loyal base. Then, to drive sales, you'll create webinars that knock down people's false beliefs and make them feel the only option is to buy your opportunity. Finally, you'll identify and make use of your Dream 100 to drive traffic into your funnels. And that's your expert business.
Got feedback? We'd love to hear from you about our content. Just share your thoughts and book recommendations in the comments section, and be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about the latest extracts. Thank you and have a great day.